Hi, this is Bob Weiss. I'm the host of Shaking Your World. Cheers.
Folks, welcome home. Yet another issue of Shaking Your World. We are here doing the Flash in the Pan series. We have this exquisite halibut that just flew in today from Alaska. Season has just opened up. Gorgeous white meat, firm, beautiful. So I began by just getting some saffron here and some water. I'm going to strain that off right now, and this is going to go into my rice. So you get yourself these beautiful pestles of the fresh saffron. You soak it in some water and extract the flavor. That's just going to go right on top of there. We're going to take some rice. Chef, you'd be so kind to give me about 5 ounces of rice. We'll process it right on top of this. Flame on right here. I just got some garlic going in, some extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of butter. Got a little more butter on top of there. Want to get a nice crispy skin on top of this. You can do this in the oven as well. So I want to maintain the skin. We're going to cook this on the skin side down and get this crisped up. So I'm just going to cut along the lateral line right here. And we're going to do something that's about a 8-inch portion, or 8-ounce portion rather. Right about like that. Again, I'm going to cook it skin side down. So a little S&P in here, salt and pepper, just a touch. Waiting for our pan to get hot. Again, we're taking our water from our saffron, get ourselves some rice inside of there. Have a saffron rice on the side. We're also going to take these lovely peppers that we have pickled some time ago, and we will include a recipe for the pickling, but just incredibly lovely sweet flavors to these things. So in fact, I like these so much, we're going to toss some into our rice. I'm going to take another one here that I'm just going to use as a presentation on top of the halibut fillet. Fillet if you're from the UK. So our butter has started to brown. Halibut down. It's going to seize up a little bit as the proteins are going to seize every time they get hot. 3 or 4 minutes and we'll be absolutely fine here with this. Again, the sizzle, the smells, that garlic is just fantastic. You don't want the garlic to burn. We're going to keep it in motion right now, have it nice and lightly caramelized. If you don't want to grab in a little more of that rice to me, that'll be good. Now, before this gets too far, I'm just going to pull off our garlic, because, of course, we don't want that bitter. Yes, please. This is good, man. So there's a variety of things that we could use to turn our rice yellow. But we're using natural saffron, so the flavors here, the smells are fantastic. It's redolent, it's got this real great depth to it. It's going to play off so nicely against just the incredibly light flavor of this halibut. So you think about halibut having it's a deep water fish, has a real kind of a heavy oil complexion. It does in some ways, and yet it's going to saute up just perfectly. It's going to have a very light complexion to it. It's a marvelous fish. Again, this early spring season is the time for it. I'm going to flip it over a little bit, get her to cook ourselves through here. Now, if we're cooking inland fish, they've got to be cooked thoroughly. Anytime I cook something which is going to be a deep water ocean fish, I like to have it about medium well. So there's some things like tuna that I will do that's rare or even medium rare. Halibut, we want to go a little further with that. It's not an issue with the parasites, it's just that the meat displays so much better. It's a better presentation, and it also tastes better, I think. So almost there right now, and again, we're getting a little bit of salt and pepper in here. Salt makes so many things taste just a little bit better. Just like so. Get this back up to speed. Now the garlic was there on the front side because we're going to have this really interesting little flavor profile. The garlic butter is just phenomenal. I'm going to accentuate that now. I'm often inclined to use lemon with garlic butter, but I'm going to use orange on this. I just think orange, again, plays very nicely with the halibut. And it's just something I've been doing for years, and it works out well. What we're going to do before I cut this thing is I'm going to take this blade, which is often used as a cheese knife, and it is a wonderful cheese knife, but I'm going to just use that to get this outer peel of this. You could use a zester if you want. And I'm just going to get a couple pieces like this, and I'm going to cut these down. So I've just got these, I don't want to call them tendrils, because tendrils really to me is so much what the saffron is, but I've got these thin little slices. They're not a julienne either, but they're just thin little slices of the orange. So then I'm going to take the orange itself. We're going to cut this and take our tool here, and again we're going to put the flat side of the orange inside of the convex portion of our little squeezy thing. Make sure to get all the sides on our halibut exposed to the heat. If you want to do this in the oven, you certainly can. You can just put them on a sheet pan, an oiled sheet pan, and get yourself some butter and a little garlic and pour that over the top. It's going to work up just nicely. Our rice has come together very nicely. It's absorbed the saffron water. It's going to have great flavors to it. It's absorbed the salt as well. And we got a nice little play going on just with these lightly prepared peppers. And so you can see the flaky natures are starting to separate right here. So we're within about a minute and a half or so of being done. You may well wonder what this is over here. We're doing a little sequence upstairs later today with a little bloodbath scene at our penthouse, recreating the scene of the dead hooker as she was slayed up there. So I'm creating a sebaceous product here. So I've got some simple syrup going with some tomato puree. Going to work this down, reduce this a bit, and this will become our blood replica for upstairs. So many fun things you can do in the kitchen. Now we're getting to that point that it's, as it is, a flaky fish. You have to be careful as you move it around. You don't want it to separate. But we do want it to cook thoroughly. All right, so that'll hide just a moment longer. Take this opportunity to do a little painting right here. This is a simple mango and serrano chili pepper that we have. So what I'm going to do with this is something a little bit different this time. When this is cooked to just about the point that I want it to be, I'm going to add this into it to form a glaze on top of that. We're going to have a little pool of the orange that's going to go on here as well. It's going to be, I think, a lovely presentation to accompany this lovely rice. And they're going to take some wakame, so simple wakame salad. This is 6 different types of seaweed that are cut down and worked together with some sesame oil and a little bit of pepper. And they have just this marvelous bright flavor, and this will be on top of our halibut. Nice and light and fluffy. If you wanted to paint with something, you could take anything like this little balsamic as well. That's just going to add a little more color and texture to this and be a real nice little play. So right about the point of doneness that I like on this, turn that off for a moment. Get myself a fish spatula. There's that. Now taking our same pan, we'll get some of this mango and chili in here. Take some of our aforementioned orange. You're going to whisk or spoon. In this case, I've got a fork to play with. So it's just going to be this really nice bright glaze that's going to go right on top of our fish. Take some of our aforementioned chilies that we had pickled, and then some of the wakame. And there we are. So this is what we're featuring today. This is simple halibut with wakame, some saffron rice on the side, and this orange mango glaze. Hope you enjoy it. Happy eating. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Cheers.